Oh man, big. You know what? I don't like being right all the time. I'll tell this. I'll tell this too. Well, actually, I do like being right, but there's certain things that I almost rather be wrong about. And
It's crazy how right you were about this.
you know what? It's one of those things where it's like, and I've said this many times before. With Philadelphia.
Jeez.
The nickname for Philadelphia is obviously Philly, right? And now the word Philadelphia does not have two L's in a row in it. It's just spelled F-I-L, right? But when you...
F-I-L?
It's P-H-I-L, whatever. I don't understand how to spell that good, but I was just too excited to get to the L part.
I was about to say, bro, that was...
I don't know. Look,
was
I don't
way
know.
off.
I don't know. I was so excited to get to the L. But the nickname for Philly is... nickname of Philadelphia is Philly, and there's definitely the two L's in the Philly.
They added the extra
They
L.
added the extra. Well, there's another L in Philadelphia, right? But they made sure that when they shrunk it, that they would keep both L's in, because if there's one thing that we know about Philadelphia is that they will always and have always taken an L. And I looked historically at what was going on here from 1790 to 1800. The capital.
This is so fucking funny
The
that you
capital-
looked up historical facts.
Because there's a trend here, right? It's more than just, this is just happening, right? There's a
Okay.
trend going on. From 1790 to 1800, the capital of the United States of America was in what city?
Philadelphia.
It was in
Yeah,
Philadelphia. And then
yeah.
what happened? They lost it, because that's what the fuck they do. Okay? They lose shit constantly. Now
Oh,
now let's
man.
go.
Oh
We can
my
just go throughout.
God.
We can go
We just
throughout
go down the
history.
list,
Yo,
man.
hold on, real
Go down
quick.
the
Let
list.
me
Yeah,
just
please.
say to the
Yeah.
listeners, I know Andrew very well, right? Like
Okay.
10 years doing comedy together, talking about everything. He's one of my best friends, best friend in comedy. This is everything you need to know about Andrew right here. This is how hard he works, how much he loves being right, and how big of a dickhead he is.
Right.
These
He
are
is
the three
right.
biggest things you need to know
Look,
about Andrew.
I don't want to be right about this.
That he
okay?
went and
You
looked up
do.
history.
You do.
Listen, this
do.
happened. This happened. It was serendipitous the way this happened originally. I threw out one little.
Kaz, you weren't here, I
quip.
don't think.
I wasn't here.
So
no,
No, this
I
happened
left.
before. This is on Brilliant Idiots. I threw out one little quip about Jazzy Jeff and about
Oh,
Philly
no,
and all
yeah.
this.
That I know,
no,
but this-
that's where this
But
started.
then remember his son. This is a good friend of mine.
Oh, you know,
Corey,
yeah.
Corey
Yeah, so
Towns.
Corey was getting
Yeah.
real excited, and he was popping off on him out. Don't come to
Oh
my
no,
city.
trust me, he was very serious.
I know he was really serious.
very
And then I did
serious.
5 shows Thursday through Sunday in Philadelphia, and I never saw Corey.
Well, I talked to him.
Oh,
I had to talk him off the
appreciate
ledge.
you talking him off the
'Cause
ledge.
He hit me,
Okay,
he
I
hit me on the
appreciate it.
side, and he was like, "Yo, I'm like serious. Like if it comes to Philly, da da da."
Yeah,
And
yeah.
like I believe him because he knows those type of people. I'm like, dude, not
What,
worth
what
it.
are you going
But
to beat me
continue.
up for? For being right? For saying
Well,
shit
here's-
that's on Wikipedia?
Here's what's super right. So Andrew's been
Let me-
talking about the Philly
Let me just
curse.
get through this.
He has a
Philly-
lot of
let me ju-
hometown pride.
Let me just get through this thing. Listen, it's fine to like your hometown, but if
Yeah.
somebody's like, you know what? There's 5 boroughs in New York. I'm not gonna go. Fuck you. It's not 5 boroughs in New York. That's what there are. So we go through history. We have obviously one of the most iconic films ever made. Right,
Rocky.
especially sports film, Rocky.
Yeah.
Right, one of the most iconic sports films ever. I mean, this is Philadelphia history right here. There's a statue
know this
of
is
Rocky,
going.
right?
I know this is
And-
going right away.
And in this, an incredible film, one of my favorite films.
Classic
really
film.
classic film. The running
Classic
up the
film.
stairs and
Yeah.
everything like that.
Iconic moments throughout.
And one of the most surprising
my
things about this
God.
film was not Sylvester Stallone's acting, which was incredible. It was not the boxing scenes that were so magnificently done, and it was not this amazing dialogue that really puts you in the heart of a fighter and heart of a warrior.
So what
One of the
happened?
most surprising things about this movie is in the fight, he lost.
He lost the
my
fight.
He lost the fight in his fictional movie. They could have written that movie differently. They could have written that movie Rocky Wins.
Yeah.
But then they were like, what city does this take place? Oh,
my God.
Philadelphia. I'm going to have to write it consistently with the city because nobody would believe in a win.
Nobody would believe
So
that a
good.
Philly fighter
That's
Not
so
at all.
would
good.
rise from obscurity
This
and
is
win.
your most brilliant bit.
Okay, I'm just listen.
curse.
Listen, it's just one of those things that we have to look at, and then we start to look at professional sports teams,
Okay.
right? We look at the 4 straight AFC championship games that the
NFC.
Eagles. NFC
NFC, yep.
championships games that the Eagles went to. Obviously, we know how that happened. The one thing that they haven't been able to. Everything does break in Philly, but the one thing they haven't been able to break, obviously, is their their Super Bowl drought. They haven't been able to break that at all. That's still intact. So, there's still things to hope for, Philly. But the point I'm trying to say is you look at the athletes there. You look at they get this amazing talent in Joel Embiid,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
amazing talent. And then what happens? Breaks.
Injury.
Injury breaks. Oh, God darn.
Also, real quick,
Yeah.
the year they made it, Philly made it to 4 straight NFC Championship games and made it to the Super Bowl.
That's right.
Came very close to winning.
Yeah.
You know, one big problem besides Donovan McNabb being fat,
Terrell Owens getting hurt.
Terrell Owens got hurt.
Just out of curiosity, what happened? He broke. He broke his ankle.
broke his
right?
ankle.
It was
So there
actually a
is
Cowboy that did it. It was Roy Williams that did it.
Fair enough, but there's a
Also
theme
fat.
of things
He
breaking.
balled though. He balled.
He
balled
balled,
in that
but
game.
he did break.
He
He
did.
did break the ankle.
And
right?
I don't
we
think
did know
he
that.
balled like he normally did.
Yeah.
Ball back
Listen,
then.
but let's just go. Let's just go. So we have Terrell Owens. He breaks his ankle. Then we have Joel Embiid comes and just breaks apart everything. Then they go. You know what we're gonna do next? We're gonna run it back, and we're gonna get this amazing talent, Ben Simmons,
Yeah.
right? And he's looking special. And then crush,
Again, missing
break.
a whole entire season.
And they were like, that's a fluke because that's not a real thing that happens out here. That would never happen again. Let's trade up and let's get that first pick, right? Markelle Fultz never had any issues whatsoever. Right? He never had any issues
Seems
in
safe.
college.
It's your
Seems
most
like a good-
brilliant bit. I'm so
I'm just
fucking
sitting-
mad you thought of this and I didn't.
Within a month of being a 76er, he rolls his ankle in summer league, and then his shoulder stops being a shoulder. So he has no shoulder anymore. He has to change his shot. He starts shooting like very similar to Lonzo Ball, right?
Worse.
Worse than
Worse than
Lonzo Ball.
Lonzo,
It was really bad.
bad.
Okay,
It was
so
bad.
now we don't. He's posting emotional quotes on his Instagram. We don't know exactly what's going on. I'm rooting for him. Right, I'm rooting for him. And then I know what a lot of Philly fans are going to say. Oh, this is recent history. Not everything breaks in Philly. Go look at your Liberty Bell. There is a crack that runs from the tip of the Liberty Bell down to I don't know what the circle at the bottom. I don't even know what you
bottom of
call.
the bell?
I don't even know. I don't know enough about bells.
The horn
of the
licking
bell.
thing.
That's what makes this so brilliant. Is
Look.
there's so many levels to it.
Listen.
Ben Franklin's bifocals are just broken glasses.
Listen,
We can do an entire episode on how everything breaks in Philly.
Listen, there is something going on here.
Yeah.
Right? There's something going on here that we're aware of. How do you break steel? It's a steel bell. It's not like we had lasers back then.
And don't even
This is
try to fix. Like they
1700s.
could fix it.
They could fix it, and
They
then
could
they were like,
fix it.
"What?
They're like,
Who
you
are
know
we
what?
kidding ourselves? It's gonna break again. Why would I fix it?" They've been trusting the process since the 1700s in Philadelphia,
Oh
and
my
it hasn't been working. That's just all I'm trying to say. And now we have a 10-2 season. Philadelphia Eagles are looking amazing. I have people tweeting me and Instagramming me every single day. Oh, Schulz, where's the Hezzy curse now?
No.
First of all, I removed the Hezzy curse. But where's the Hezzy curse now? What's happening?
They got an MVP at quarterback.
They got an MVP,
MVP.
superstar.
He was gonna walk
Impressive
into
as
that MVP.
there's at least one play
Just-
every game you watch Carson Wentz. You're like, what the? How
Yeah.
the
What is this
fuck
kid?
did he do
Is this
that?
Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah.
What's going on? Who
Yeah,
am I
he's a
watching?
beast.
Maybe even more impressive in
He was a
some
beast.
ways.
He was a
Beast.
beast, especially second year in the league.
Yeah.
Like, super
and a
young.
nice
Like,
kid.
yeah.
Nice, good Christian.
Good Christian boy.
Never
Loving.
made a B in
He's-
his life. All straight A's his whole life.
He's
You know what?
Tebow.
He did just make a B by
but not.
breaking his ACL. That might be his first B, and he tore his ACL.
Here's
a
what's-
tragic hit. I mean,
Yeah.
you see it. I mean, the kid's going for it. He's a hungry kid, and it just totally.
It's a play that a million coaches.
He
like,
runs a lot, though. I
don't
thought this
want.
might happen.
Fair enough.
But to your credit,
Yeah.
Andrew, Kaz, there was an episode you left early, I think,
Yeah.
and Andrew and I talked about the Cowboys, and then we got to the Eagles, and then I was annoyed at how good they were, and Carson Wentz, and Andrew said, I'm not even bullshitting, go back and check. He said, he's going to get hurt.
Listen,
And
I
I
don't
said, I
want
hope
this.
so.
I just want to
And
clarify.
he called this
You don't want it
exact
to be-
fucking thing.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't want this. I want to clarify. Okay, I don't want this. I don't want Carson to be hurt. I don't want these things to happen in Philadelphia. I have no attachment to Philadelphia whatsoever. None. Nice city. I like performing there. Really nice crowds. Thank you, Corey, for not bringing your goons to go beat me up.
Don't point at me.
Okay.
Point at Corey. Thanks, Corey.
Hey,
Thanks
appreciate you, Corey, for
yeah.
letting me live out there. Now, that being said, you can't deny the obvious here.
I mean,
There's something going on. If I was a first-round draft pick and the Eagles were going to draft me or the Sixers were going to draft me, I'm not going.
when's the last time? The Phillies? I think the Phillies
Phillies won the World Series, and that was their first championship in, like, God knows how long.
Forever, right?
Bill Burr did a whole rant about how all they do is lose, and this is Andrew's equally brilliant.
It's about
Point
breaking.
about Philly.
It's about breaking. You have to remove yourself from Philly, and then you will. I mean, look at Corey's dad. That was the point I made.
Yeah.
Listen, Jazzy Jeff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Bye, Philly. Superstar. Will Smith. Bye, Philly. Superstar.
He had a
If this-
classic show about leaving Philly.
Listen, if
the whole premise is
what happens when
what's
you
the-
get out of
what's
Philly?
Philadelphia, born and raised on a playground where I used to spend most of my days.
Chilling out, maxing, relaxing,
all
all cool.
and then shit went left.
And then my
And
life
then,
went right.
And then I went to Bel Air and I was like, oh
Yo,
man,
that's
I got a rich uncle, I got a mansion.
listen.
Why am I? There's even an episode of The Fresh Prince when his mom comes back.
I remember this. I remember
his mom
this.
comes back and he's like, "Yeah, you're about to graduate from high school. Like, I mean, college. Like, can't wait for you to come back and move back to Philly with us." And Will's like, "Oh
Nah,
no, I have a whole life here. I'm pretty sure.
Times have
Yeah,
changed.
I'm good. Yeah, like, sorry, I'm not coming back to Philly.
We're not doing it. It's just
Yeah.
one of those things. It's rough to be a Philly fan.
I feel for him. I really did feel.
And
for
let me
him.
say this: I go to Philly all the time. My girl is born and raised there. I'm there all the time, so I need to say this on the record. I don't believe in the Philly curse. Hindus believe in curses. I don't believe in that. As a Hindu, I do believe in karma.
Yeah.
And maybe if you guys stop being such dickheads,
Yeah, booed
bad
Santa
things will
Claus.
stop happening.
Listen,
They booed Santa
They
Claus.
cheered,
goddamn.
paralyzed Michael Irvin.
this is not PG-13.
Booed Santa Claus. This is R.
This is R. We're right on the line. We're right on the line.
They threw snowballs with batteries in them at Jimmy Johnson. They're just the worst fans in history.
Oh
This is
my
going to
God.
keep happening.
Listen,
Who took this picture? That's what I want to know.
I was at it was at New York Comedy Club. I was taking a dump before I went on stage. This was when I had to poop before I went on stage.
You go pants to ankles in the toilet?
Fam, if you notice, I don't even
you
put
take
toilet
all the way
paper
off?
between the cheek and the bowl.
That's bare
That's
cheek.
bare cheek on the bowl. If for everybody's listening, they're not watching on YouTube right now, youtube.com/TheAndrew Schulz. But we're looking at a picture of me on the toilet taking a shit. And Alex, not me,
you put
don't
your-
get me beat up again, but Alex has put underneath my butt cheeks different items from Philadelphia. I guess what you're trying to do is create a metaphor like I'm shitting on Philadelphia. Is that what we're going for right here?
Way to
Okay.
go with that, Alex.
Listen.
It's not Andrew's not shitting on Philadelphia.
I'm saying
God is shitting on Philadelphia. Stop being so mean.
Something
and your
happened.
solution to this right now, I guarantee you, is I'm gonna fuck both of them up. And then somebody else gonna break his fucking legs.
Listen, you know how mean Philadelphia has to be that they created a fake slogan to make people nice to each other?
Brotherly
brotherly
love.
Brotherly love. There's never
no
been
such thing.
brotherly love
There's
in
no such thing.
Philadelphia. No, not at all.
You know who Jay-Z went to when he needed some non-brotherly love?
Who's that?
He goes to State Property. You know who State Property is, Philip? State Property, like, there was Rockefeller, there was, like, the glitzy, glamorous, you know what I mean, we're drug dealers, but we're classy. We got Emil over here, we got Meth Bleed, we got the hustles over there. But the grimy, dirty motherfuckers of the Rockefeller,
State Property.
State Property. A bunch of
Shady.
dirty Philly niggas that will rob you.
Yeah.
Also,
shoot you.
the only dudes under Jay-Z that are still Baroque.
That too. I mean, hey.
Well, yo, you gotta
What are you gonna
respect
do?
State Property because they didn't try to be anything that they weren't.
Nah.